Hello guys and welcome. My name is Greg Hibbard and this whole channel is to make people aware of something called Protocel. The title or bumper sticker of this video is "What are the odds?" and this is video number 1. Real quickly though, I want you to know that Protocel changed my life. I have something called erythema multiforme. Not many people have heard that, but it's actually hospitalized me for 2 months. It was something that was a part of my life for 17 years. It took over my life in a lot of ways for anywhere between 3 to 6 months out of every single year. So it was no little issue. And what's interesting about erythema multiforme is very few people have it. I've only met one other person that's had to deal with erythema multiforme in all my years, and they actually had a different type of erythema multiforme, okay? But it also helps people with autoimmune deficiencies, okay? And that includes cancer. Okay, so number 2, I want to, the reason for this video is just to make people aware, and I want to accelerate the awareness. So I've made it a mission since 2008, which is, what's interesting about that is I didn't even start taking Protocel until 2009, but I had heard a story, and I'm going to tell you that story in another video. But I'd heard a story, it blew me away. I started telling people about Protocel before I'd even taken it, and lo and behold, it changed my life as well, okay? But today's story, or today's bumper sticker / title is "What are the odds?" And what I have on the screen right here, these are actually bottles of Protocel. It's gone through a lot of different changes. You see we got the original label. I think when I first started taking it, we actually had a different type of label, but this is the new and improved label. I actually take the time to label my bottles so that I can see when I bought the bottle. So this bottle was purchased on the 12th of December, 2020. This one was bought on the 25th of November, 2023. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into the nuts and bolts as to what this title's all about. Again, the title of this video is "What are the odds?" So let me go ahead and make a change here. Let me throw this map up here. Okay, folks, so what you see on here, I don't know how clear it's going to be for you guys, but I'll explain things out. And the whole idea behind what are the odds is I'm going to show you an area that I actually grew up in, and I'm going to show you 3 lives, 3 different lives that were completely changed only because they were introduced to Protocel. And I'm only going to give you a snapshot. I'm going to get more in depth on these folks' stories, but for now, what I'm hoping to leave behind is you to scratch your head like I was scratching my head and say, holy smoke, what are the odds of these people's lives being changed by the same vitamin supplement, something you can buy online, something you can buy in Akron, Ohio or South Carolina. There's a whole story to that as well. I'll tell that in another video. But my point is you can actually buy this stuff on your own. The bottles I think go around for $180 to $200 something, so like a drop in the bucket compared to even just going to visit a doctor once. And it could take care of major and take away major problems in your life. So that said, let's go back to the idea of this. What are the odds? What are the odds of this happening? All right, so number 1, looking at this and following my finger, this is where I grew up. This is called North Short Hills Drive, okay? And North Short Hills Drive, that whole circle, it's a half a mile. So you jump in your car, you go around the circle here, your odometer is going to hit exactly 0.5 miles. Okay, that is just so you have a reference. Now, the Hibbards, that's where I grew up. We live right there. We called ourselves 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock Short Hills. Why? Because this is north. This is south. So we considered ourselves at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock on Short Hills. Now, follow my finger. Right there is where the Fritzes live, okay? If there wasn't a big ravine there, I could see their home, but there was a big ravine, therefore I couldn't see their house. But there was quite literally a path before the Lees built their house. There was a path that went over, and you could take it all the way down. Now, the path was still there when the Lees had moved in. I just didn't have to cut through their yard anymore. I went to the back of the yard to get to the Fritz's house. Okay, that's how close the Fritz's lived. Okay, there was another person that lived that took the Protocel. Her name was Tammy Mallon. She lived right there. I could literally, and I checked this out last week when I was over at my parents' house because my parents still live there. And I went to the front porch just to check and make sure that I wasn't making this up in my own mind. But lo and behold, yes, when I look out on the front porch, I can literally see Tammy Mallon's home right there. So why am I telling you all this? So not only did Protocel help me with erythema multiforme, Dave Fritz had brain cancer, right? And the doctor said, David, you have brain cancer, you have 6 to 12 months to live. And that's just the way of it. Tammy Mallon, I don't know the time frame, but they said, Tammy, you have brain cancer, you only have a certain period of time to live. They both were broke that news. They were both in their 20s. What a horrible thing to go through. But both of them, I'm not going to tell all the details of the story now, but both of them, like me, they were introduced to Protocel. They took the Protocel. They both have different types of stories, but the same thing happened. They took the Protocel and their cancer went away. I took the Protocel and my erythema multiforme went away. And that's why I called this, What Are the Odds? What are the odds of 3 people that were battling major immune deficiencies in their life, and all 3 of them were cured of their problems when they took the Protocel? My name's Greg Hibbard. The name of this video are What Are the Odds? I hope I've got you curious. This is video number 1 because when people ask me about Protocel, this is the video I'm going to send them to. I want to keep it relatively short, and I want to keep a question in people's mind. And I've been sending out an email letter to people that I introduced to the Protocel, and at the top of it, it says, what do I have to lose? And that is exactly what I thought when I decided to take Protocel, because I'd gone through 20 years, 17 years of seeing specialists. Over 20 specialists trying to help me with modern medicine. They did their best. It did not work. The only way I could take away my erythema multiforme was taking harsh steroids like prednisone, which I love prednisone. Don't get me wrong. But if you've ever had to take prednisone, there are side effects. It's very toxic in the body. And for me, I would have had to always take prednisone and not low doses. I would have had to take a little high doses and had side effects, like it really affected my mood. But with Protocel, I take the Protocel and it just goes away. I don't get hyper. I don't lose sleep. I feel great. And by the way, I don't have to take Protocel all the time. I might take Protocel once, twice a year, only as needed. And that's my story. Anyway, my name's Greg Hibbard. I want to thank you for watching this. My plan is to make shorter videos like this. I want to introduce people to the Protocel. I want to do a better job of making people aware of it. That's why I'm putting this out on YouTube. Right now, the presence of Protocel is almost nil. I introduced a friend of mine to Protocel. He said, Greg, this is being so horribly marketed. There's a reason for that. And I'm going to tell that story eventually in these series of Protocel videos that I'm coming up with. Guys, I hope you got something out of this. Stay tuned. I'm going to make more videos. By the way, today is the 11th of January 2025. I hope you guys are having a great day right now. I hope it continues to be great. And I hope to see you in the next video. Please like this video, by the way, because we want the algorithm, at least we want the opportunity for people to see me make these videos so maybe they can learn some more about this. And there are a lot more people out there that are willing to explain and tell you more about Protocel, but I'm going to put that out in a later video to come. You guys have a great day. See ya later.